Yeah, I don't tell you about myself. I don't really know where to begin. I'm an insufferable pedant, and that's what ZJ and I have in common. I can usually keep up with her. Usually.
Yes, tell them how awesome you are.
So, so I guess we're here and we're going to talk about, because I don't normally do shows or YouTube or videos or anything, I think we agreed to ask Facebook what we should talk about beforehand so that I wouldn't just sit here staring at my computer and freeze in terror. So I think what they came up with was that jackass in Norway, Anders Breivik, and they wanted us to talk about him. Is that right?
Yes, that's what they suggested.
Yes. How we met and fell in love. We're nerds. We met on IRC, okay? So,
Yep, IRC.
Yeah, the guy in Norway, and I thought that would actually be fun to talk about because I lived in Norway for about 4 years. No, I didn't meet and fall in love with the jerk in Norway. I never met him. But I did actually live quite near him in Norway. I could have driven to his place in, you know, like less than an hour or so from where I live. And
Where did he live? Did he live in Oslo?
He lived right next to Oslo, and I lived in Moss, which was which was about 45 minutes south of Oslo, right along the fjord. And so I lived kind of near him. I could have probably driven to him in about an hour. And I think that where in Norway is it right along the fjord? Well, quite a lot of it actually, because you see a fjord is a river that is cut into mountain, and so they're only on the edges. But there's quite a lot of Norway that isn't on the fjord. But I was on the Oslo fjord, which is a fjord that runs right up, like Norway looks like a mitten, and it's like right in the thumb there. So I lived there for 4 years, and yes, Florida Park Fest won an award for the fjord. Yes, he did. So I'm 29. So anyway, I think there was a lot of discussion along like the news sites and the American message boards and stuff about whether 21 years was enough, like sentencing for him or something. And I thought that would be an interesting. Yeah, I thought that would be an interesting thing. 21 years is a life sentence for Norway. That is the longest sentence that you can get in Norway. So, as for
But they can extend it in 5-year blocks, right?
You know, I don't know honestly about that, but I do know that they do have a 21-year sentence, and then after that, if you're not like well, then they'll put you in a halfway house or something, and they'll take care of you. And they make sure that, see, prison in Norway is about rehabilitation. And I think that in, like, Oriana here is saying, is there a way to rehabilitate a guy like that? See, in America, our first assumption is absolutely not. Somebody is evil, and therefore, no, they cannot be rehabilitated. Or if they're extra evil, you know, the more evil they are, the less rehabilitation that there can be. And this is actually a cultural belief. This isn't actually founded on any kind of fact or studies or research whatsoever. There is no reason to believe that just because a person is more crazy, that they're going to be less able to rehabilitate them. And that's just something that we assume culturally, because America is a lot more black and white. And so whereas we see evil and, you know, somebody did this just to be an asshole or something, they see somebody did this because they don't feel like they're a part of society. So What you need to do is put them in jail for a set period of time and teach them how to be a part of society again, so that when they re-enter it, then they can be, then they won't want to kill people. So prison is about rehabilitating them. Why did you feel like you were apart from society? Why did you feel like you wanted to harm society rather than be a part of it? And therefore, let us fix that and put you back into the population here. In fact, when I lived there, I just about cracked up. I almost died laughing because I was watching the news one day, and there was a guy who had escaped prison, and when they did an investigation to figure out how he escaped prison, it turns out they just left the door open. And so they interviewed like the warden, and they were like, what happened there? And the warden was like, we're going to do better about keeping our doors closed. We're going to lock them in the future. We promise. And it was like a murderer that escaped. I mean, just like, and I asked my friend, like, why, was the door ever left open when you were in prison? And he was like, oh yeah, all the time. And I was like, well, why didn't you guys just walk out? And he goes, it's too much trouble. Because, like, you're in this nice kind of a place, and, you got to do your time, and if you escape, then they'll probably catch you. Then you got to go back for longer. So, they leave the door open. No problem, nobody's going to escape.
Oh, look in the chat, someone's threatening to decapitate me. 21st August at 2 a.m.? Seriously? I'm gonna be awake then, dude. I'm gonna have my machete ready. Take your best shot. Yeah, you might be the one getting decapitated. Oh, he's gone.
Give them a time and everything.
Seriously, if you're gonna kill someone, you don't warn them first. Why would you do that? I
mean, they're, like, pretending that the argument was supposed to be about anyway. I mean, that was what they're... I mean, isn't that what the whole, like, let's give them civil unions thing is about in, like, PR? Like, I mean, that's what the PR is for civil unions. Like, look, we're giving them the exact same thing, except we're calling it something different because they're not straight. And so that's what the PR of the argument is. Of course, the actual, like, meat of the argument, or the actual meat of civil unions, is that they are significantly different because they actually don't want us to have the same rights. But the PR, what they're selling to people who don't want to hate gay people, but Jesus, that is, civil unions is exactly the same, etc. So it seems like he actually bought into the PR and just doesn't really understand how this works. I've never seen My Little Pony. I hear it's like Powerpuff Girls, but I haven't seen it. I like Powerpuff Girls. I did like Powerpuff Girls, though. Yeah, I see the images.
I've never seen it either.
I guess they're supposed to be a lesbian.
I just see the image macros everyone has.
Yeah, I guess they're supposed to be like a lesbian pony or something.
And the rainbow pony shirts and everything.
Yeah, the one who's like butch and has rainbow hair.
Yeah, the rainbow one. I remember that one.
Yeah, and the obviously gay pony, and then the writer
the obviously
of
gay pony.
She wrote a guest column in Ms. Magazine, and she was like, hey, you know what? Sometimes tomboys are just tomboys and they're straight, okay? And it's terrible just to assume they're gay just because they're tomboys, and it's insulting. And then I've, of course, had to tear up all the comments. Not that she ever read them, but of course I had to leave all kinds of shit. You know what? Fuck you. Why is it a bad thing to assume that she's gay? There's nothing wrong with being gay. Why can't she be a gay fucking pony? And if she's not gay, then why is her hair a rainbow? Why is she a butch pony with rainbow hair? She's a gay fucking pony. And there's nothing wrong with that. And they should give her a girlfriend.
Why have we only heard about Heather just now? A few weeks after we got together, I did that video where I said I'm a lesbian. I said I have a girlfriend. Was I not specific enough? Yes, we've been over this, guys.
Oh, they're being sweet.
It was nice to take the opportunity to go and talk to them
yeah,
when they
who
were here.
was the one that we think is gay? Jael? Yeah, because we watched, that like documentary, and we were like, oh my god, I'll bet that one's a lesbian. So I sent her a bunch of love notes on Twitter, and she blocked me. I don't know why. I'm cute. So
Yes, you are.
I was like, Jael, I'd totally fuck you. I also want to send love notes to, what's her name? Anne Palk, the girl from Love One Out. The ex-lesbian nutcase that wrote Love One Out. And I have her book. Hang on, let me get it. I have her book. Okay, I have her book. This one, Restoring Sexual Identity. Hope for women who struggle with same-sex attraction. This is hilarious. This is the funniest book I've ever read. And the best part is, let me find it. You guys will give me a moment. Hang on. Okay, are you guys ready? Because this is my favorite, funny, hilarious passage. Okay? Is everybody paying attention? Okay, she's describing a person she met who was struggling with same-sex attraction. That's what we call it when we're Christians, same-sex attraction. Okay? Now listen to the way Anne Palk describes her. She was an extremely attractive blonde, dressed nicely, and had nothing about her to suggest a homosexual struggle. Well, clearly she was way too hot to be a dyke. Way hot. And I'm really surprised that she didn't get into like the sweat glistening on her skin, or the way she had legs that just wouldn't quit. Oh, I'm sorry, why am I shouting? I have a big voice, I'm sorry.
Well, hey, this is supposed to be a decent Christian
but it's
book.
got all these hot women in it. All struggling with lesbian feelings, and this is porn. This is
Yeah, just put them all together in one place,
put
why
all the
don't you?
lesbians in a room together, and let's all talk about how we struggle with lesbian attraction. Like if they pay too much attention to their kids, then they'll turn gay. And if they don't pay enough attention to their kids, then they'll turn gay. And their father paying too much or not enough attention to them is what turned them gay. And so,
you know what that is?
Not only do they have
the fully general counter-argument, where no matter what has happened in a person's life, if they are gay, they will find something about it that must have caused that. That's a big part of the whole ex-gay thing. That's what they do. Absolutely anything can be found to be a cause of it. And so, of course, you never get the converse of that, where it's like things that cause straight, things that protect you from being gay. It's like at some point all of these things have been used to explain why someone must be gay. It's just...
But these people, I mean, they believe it, and they rely on it, and they have faith in it, because if they lose their faith in it, then they'll also lose their wives and children, which they love very much. So they're afraid because they believe this thing, they believe something, nebulous or whatever, caused their own homosexuality, and then if they aren't perfect, then they will also cause their son's homosexuality and cause the struggle for them. And so it's like, so it's just really painful and sad for them, and...
Yeah, this is not helping them at all.
No. Not helping them. And I guess the idea, at least so Anne Palk says, about women being gay is that they either saw their mothers being too masculine and not submitting to their husbands, or their moms submitted too much to their husbands and the women didn't want to be weak and would prefer to identify with the masculine. So apparently all lesbians are masculine now. And this has not been my experience. And but
No.
apparently that's the mythology for lesbianism. Either women are too submissive or women aren't submissive enough. You have to be the exact right amount submissive to your husband to make sure that your daughters don't turn gay. Yeah, we should out straight people. We'd be like, you know what? That guy right there, he sleeps with women. Gross. Gross. We got quiet all this. Well, I just wasn't yelling. I yell a lot of the time. Most of the time, I sound like I'm yelling. This is how you win friends and influence people. I talk in all caps. Some of the people on Facebook asked, what was it they asked? Like, how do I
something about like being with people who are gender variant or something.
Gender variant. It's like being in love.
Yeah.
Why do I give a... I mean, I don't give a fuck. And as far as like other people are concerned, I've been very, very fortunate to sculpt my surroundings. I'm a big person with a big voice and a big personality, and so far all I've had to do is just look people dead in the eye and say, this is my girlfriend. And so far nobody's had the balls to try and tell me otherwise. So, so it's not actually been a problem for us yet. I mean, it might be in the future, but so far. And, you know, if they have a problem with it, then who gives a fuck about what they think? I don't really see anybody, you know, I don't really see myself, caring about what
people treat us pretty well.
Give a shit about. And as far as like how we're treated in public, well, have you seen Zinnia? We get treated like lesbians. It's not like, yeah, we're just ladies and ma'ams and so on.
We're ladies.
Like any other lesbian couple would be treated. Yes, we get stared at. People stare at lesbians.